It's just different.
Yeah. Fuck it, I'm stuck in my ways. Paper is all we about, nigga. All that beefing for the lame dudes. They just be running their mouth, nigga. Had me call a Brook and Rumble. Had them grimy niggas run up in your house, nigga. Cannon all up in your mouth. Ugh. Rick James on your couch. Whoa. Cheddar bang with the cloud. Oh, Barry Blue with the account. Oh, only losers talking down, but looking up to me when I come around. That's why I got the crown. These dudes ain't ill rapping, they frail, nigga. That shit I can't feel, lacking the skill. I'm sleeping on rappers like Bill after the pill, yeah. Fuck is on your mind, boy. Came back to put you niggas back in line, boy. Get a good looking niggas on your side, boy. Oh, bitch, niggas, whole click a bunch of tomboys. God, Staten Island, yeah, it's mine, boy. I ain't trying, I just do it on the side, swear to God. How y'all in the booth all day and still playing catch up? You ain't even got a job. Defeat these niggas in my leisure. Beastin', rest in peace when I'm on that feature. Beastin', he's rapping, immaculate, feed him. Niggas G'ing him if they saying they seeing him. See me and my niggas one of a kind. Probably why everybody be so mad at us all the time. I ain't aiming at nothing, I'm just detonating the bomb. It's a brand new line since we messing with niggas' minds.
Fuck around and have a Billy in a Pico. Just a Rigo for a grip. Leave a nigga stitch on the lead low. To me, you niggas is fruit of the loom. They keep it brief though. We on leave a nigga reformed. I ain't meek though. See all of my niggas riding in the streets though. None of us ain't doing Willie. Start up on you like a hilly. I'm up in the semi, no bluff. It'll lift a nigga up. Try to tell the niggas that I be the one with the wave. Got a little shorty with the pose. In the stage, all my niggas black and with the white. A bunch of renegades. You ain't with the action on my life. You niggas just a rage. You ain't gotta ask them with the shits, nigga. Master with the flow, go tell by how I flip, niggas. Stepping up the medication, get a dish, nigga. Barry with the bat, just hit me when you need a hit, nigga. Known fact, I'ma knock it out the park. CBS is lighting up the dark, you don't wanna see the spark. Pop a nigga, let us see the twirl. You can have the Allen, nigga, I'ma need the word. Known fact, I'ma knock it out the park. CBS is lighting up the dark, you don't wanna see the spark. Still gon' do it, give a fuck about who do it first. You can have the Allen, I'ma need the universe.
I create the way. These niggas riding around it. I create the way. These niggas riding around it. I create the way. These niggas riding around it. I create the way. These niggas riding around it. Yeah. Fuck it, I'm stuck in my ways. Paper is all we about, nigga. All that beefing for the lame dudes. They just be running their mouth, nigga.
Me and my niggas one of a kind. Greatest of all time. I create the wave. These niggas riding around it.
Boom shakalaka. You already know the vibes. It's Friday. Who run the city? T-Time, Big Fan, Breezy. We are in the building.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody in the comments already. Taji, Quan, I see you. Bobby, I see you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody care about them ABA championships, Taji. Nobody cares.
Shout out to my guy Taji, rapping early. 5 minutes in. Call up too, man. You know what I'm saying? You be early. Know what I mean? If you somewhere you could call up, call up. We ain't never hear you call up, man. Know what I mean? But you always in the comments. We appreciate you, man. We be doing call ups today?
Yeah, hold on. Let me get right, man. My fault. I mean,
we good. We good. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I see you, Bobby, Terabasi. Man. Shout out to Barry.
I ain't even got the number up there or nothing, do I? I'm wrong. Oh, yeah, I do. Number.
Shout out to Marlon Mayhem, always causing mayhem in the city. You know what I mean? You know how it go, man. But yeah, I'm here for all that, man. I want all this. Y'all know how it go, man. And I know I'm gonna hear a lot from this and that about y'all Knicks fans and Nets fans. But I'm ready for it all. I'm ready for it, man. I just want to let y'all know that, there's been a lot going on, and we appreciate y'all, man. Like, share, comment, subscribe.
Facts. Yeah. All right, let's get right. All right. So what's up, man? What we chatting about?
Shit, man. A lot going on everywhere, you know what I mean? So I'll parlay the conversation to favor one of the teams in the city, right? So what I will say is they fired Ime. He could be the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. He cheated on my childhood crush. And I forgive you, man. You want to be the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets? That's good with me. That's how I wanted to start. You know what I'm saying? However y'all want to play it, though, man. What's good with you, man?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to fire Ime. Right.
They fired him.
No, they didn't. They suspended him.
For a year. That means he ain't got a job for a year. No, but that can change.
No, that's not true. Suspension and firing are two different things.
Can he work for the Brooklyn Nets?
He's still employed by the Boston Celtics. He's just not allowed to coach for them at this moment, and they still haven't made a final decision. But he's not fired. He's suspended. There's a difference. But I will
Okay.
say this, right? It's still a lot that needs to come out about this whole situation. But I think I can speak for all black men 30 and above when they heard the news.
My childhood crush.
They literally like, yo, literally collectively at the same time. You cheated on Nia Long? Nia Long.
You
You
know,
was lucky. Well, first of all, hold on. I'm not done. First of all, he was lucky enough to even get her. Right? Yes, he played in the NBA, but he wasn't a star. He was a scrub. He was a scrub.
he played for the Knicks.
Yeah, he did. He did. But he was a scrub. He was a scrub. Averaged 5 points a game his whole career. He moved around a lot. You feel me? That he was assistant coach in San Antonio. Like he had Nia Long living in San Antonio, son. You feel me? Like
No, and add to context, that's what I wanted to say. And again, to add to what's going on, Nia Long just moved to Boston 2 weeks ago. So case in point, he was on the road by himself. And again, I'm not defending the man cheating on Nia Long. I'm not going to do it. I'm just saying, perspective wise, he wasn't even coming home to his woman on the home games. You on the home and in this road, and then you on the road and in these women. And again, the thing is this: it is consensual. So they find what happened to the woman. Did she get the same suspension on a consensual situation?
So this is why I'm saying that it's still all the evidence need to come out, because now I'm seeing reports that it wasn't consensual. Like what? It was unwanted advances or some shit like that. See, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I don't want to speak on it, too crazy.
This is the pot is still stirring.
Yeah. I don't want to speak on it too crazy because it's still a lot to go on. Yeah, there's a lot that need to come out. I mean, pause. Right. So, but it's wild. You feel me? It's a wild situation. It's unfortunate. He a wild boy, regardless of the fact if it was consensual or unconsensual, whatever the case may be. He was wilding. One, to jeopardize your job with fraternizing. Well, and then if it was consensual, right? I'm not really like I'm joking about the cheating on Nia Long stuff. You know what I mean? I don't really.
Yo, you heard we heard different things. You're saying that you heard it was just
today.
I heard that he killed the Punani.
So like today, like I saw reports coming out that
I don't know what's going on, man.
There was unwanted advances or something like that. That was the
and that's all that happened.
The verbiage that was being used, right? It was unwanted advances, and that's where we at with it. You feel me? Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, if you did like sexually harass somebody, that's not fucking cool, bro. Like, there's no defending that shit. Like, that's not cool.
I don't know, man. This is interesting because if they spin it and say that it's sexual harassment, it's different. Because, I tried to parlay it into the Salva thing. I heard a lot of people saying, a lot of fans saying, oh, this, just to kind of take the attention away from that and all the other heavier stuff that's going on in the media.
Talking about Brett Favre?
That, and among other things, you know what I'm saying, in the NBA. And again, all of these matters, and they like blowing up a situation where it was consensual. And that's my thing, is it should be in-house more so than anything if it was consensual. But if they're saying it's just aggressive advances that the woman didn't want, it's a woman to get her leaving a situation with clean hands. Now I'm saying they could spin the narrative that way, and that's bad for business. I don't think he should be the head coach for Boston anymore if they're gonna treat him like that. He could make things right with the Brooklyn Nets and the day.
So here's my problem with the situation. Not I heard Stephen A say something similar, and I really agree with him. But I agree with him on this aspect, not condoning or praising or trying to make excuses for anything that Ime may have or haven't done, right?
Right.
My thing is with the Boston Celtics organization, like, if you're not going to immediately fire him, why put that information out there? You feel me? Like, there was no need for you to put that information out there if you're not going to fire him. Like, I think I think that was just like messy on their part. You feel me? Like as an organization, yeah, he's wrong. Like whether it is consensual or unconsensual, like he's wrong. But they're wrong for putting that information out there because not only is it a damage to his, like we're not even caring about his reputation because he did what he did, but there's a family and kids involved, right? There's
Right.
family and kids involved, and I think that's trash for them to put that information out there, especially if they're not gonna fire the man. They didn't make a
Right.
final decision yet, but they could have suspended him and just said that he violated whatever code of conduct for the Boston Celtics and left it as that. They
Yeah.
came out all right off the rip and was like, "Yeah, he's smashing something."
To parlay it into a conversation about the city, our city teams, it's like, how does that affect the locker room? And I thought the Brooklyn Nets, I said that in contrast to the Brooklyn Nets, and I thought we had the biggest mess in the off season. And now this is a different type of mess, different type of energy. Because now in the locker room, shout to my guy, the locker room, he got a show I'll be pulling up. But anyway, shout the locker room, how does Ime Udoka and the success that he gave the Brooklyn Nets in his rookie season as a coach, and him being suspended, and the expectations of what the Celtics going to the finals, how does that change the locker room energy? Because they're going to be asking questions among each other in the locker room. Who side you on, what you know, who you know, and who you believe. I mean, people might get traded because of this situation. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know how that's gonna go, man.
That's a reach to say people won't get traded because of the situation. The Boston Celtics situation and the Nets messiness is completely different. You know what I mean?
But at least ours is just basketball. This is outside of basketball.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is different. Like
this is messier.
It is like on some
Nash could go home to his wife.
On
Sean
some
Marks could go home to his wife.
But what I'm
KD
saying is,
do whatever he's still gonna do. Like this ain't that.
The difference is like I don't think it with Boston. I don't think it damages their locker room. I mean, of course they're gonna miss Ime Udoka as a coach. That's a vital part to their team. But I'm talking about like it is not. I don't think it's going to create a divide amongst the locker room. But with Brooklyn, with what they went through, that stuff caused a divide in the locker room when your star player is trying to get out, when the second guy in command wanted to get out.
So.
You feel me? Like so,
rightfully so.
That causes divides. This is more like, yo, that boy, coach out here wilding. Coach a wild boy.
Okay, so let me switch lanes real quick, right? But I'm not moving the goalposts. In your opinion, does this change the expectations for the Celtics as far as going to the finals? Do you, or better said, do you feel like part of the reason the Celtics went to the finals last season is because of Ime Udoka's coaching?
I absolutely believe his coaching was a vital part of them going to the finals. I think, is it possible that they could probably go back? Yes, because I watched the Golden State Warriors when Steve Kerr went down for most of a season, go on a historic win streak. You feel me? They won the most games consecutively in I think NBA history at that time.
You said Steve Kerr?
Yeah, because he was.
Yeah, I feel like these guys are rare, but I get you. I'm picking up what you playing down.
So I'm saying that I feel like that team is that good, and the system is already in place. Like if they're running the same system, I think they're going to find success because the team is good. You feel me?
But
like
the system is Ime Udoka's system. Like he just did it for one season.
But again, they did it.
How long did Mark Jackson do it before Steve Kerr took it?
I don't remember, but I think like maybe 4 years. But what I'm saying is, these guys are professional athletes, and they ran the system for a whole entire year. You feel me? And it's the same. If it's the same system going into next year, I think they'll be fine. Like,
I don't feel it's dominance no more. I don't think they run a division.
I don't even really think they were dominant. You feel me? I wouldn't even call the Boston Celtics a dominant team.
In the division, what were they in the division? Y'all beat them twice, right?
Yeah.
So they weren't perfect.
I think we beat them 3 times.
Okay.
But I wouldn't call them dominant. Like I think they did what they were supposed to do to get
Or
to
the
the.
favorites, better
You feel
said.
me?
More of the
I
they
wouldn't
would
even.
look
I
at the
still wouldn't
favorites
even
going into
call.
next season.
I wouldn't consider them the favorites going into next season. I
What he
think they
made
had a.
Duco, you didn't consider
I,
them the favorite?
I think they had a really good chance of going back, but calling them the favorites, nah, that's not something I would have done. I'm not
Okay,
calling
so
them
who
the
you
favorites.
consider the favorites going into
Uh,
the East? As of now, as of right now.
going into the going into the season, who do I consider the favorites?
Yeah.
Uh, I still really do like Milwaukee. Uh, and yeah, to me, Milwaukee is the favorites for me to go back to the
They
finals
made a good off-season move.
because
I think they made a couple like a good
because
two pluses, good
to
players.
me, Giannis is the 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 not the most skilled, the best basketball player in the NBA right now. You
Okay.
feel me? He's not the most skilled. He's the best.
Okay.
You feel me?
I give it to Curry.
Like when Shaq was the best, he wasn't the most skilled, but he
Giannis
was
is
the
up there
best.
though.
You
Yeah,
feel
now
me?
Giannis is really close.
Uh,
Yeah,
Now you really can't do nothing with Giannis. You feel me? Like there's nothing you can do. You know what he's
yeah.
going to do.
I
You
think
know it. You know
yeah.
exactly what he's going to do, and you can't
Mhm.
stop it.
But
Like,
again, while we here, because I won't be here for long complimenting the Bucks and the Giannis and all that. But what I will say, the difference between him and the Shaq, since we talking, is the free throw line. That's what puts Giannis in debates with these greats because when you can't hack them the same way you could a Shaq, you feel me?
Giannis is not great at the free throw line, bro.
But he
Remember,
better than Shaq.
Shaq made them when they counted. When they needed them the most, Shaq made those. Shaq
Yeah.
was a clutch free throw shooter. This is a
Okay.
fact. This is well documented that Shaq, he might miss, he might go 0 for 15, but let you be 2 points. You need them 2 points in the final seconds of the
Mhm.
game. Shaq was gonna sink those joints. You feel me?
And another
But
thing to add to
but
that, hold on.
I've seen Giannis miss clutch free throws, and that's the
Okay.
difference. You feel me? They both suck
Yeah.
at shooting free throws, though. Yeah,
And to add to that, the health aspect of they always say if Shaq stayed healthy in tip top shape, he would have definitely been the best ever. And you see Giannis make that transition in his career where you see him come in as a more of a slim guy, and you see he put on the muscle. And that comes from hard work. You know what I mean? Some things is skill and talent, but some things is just hard work. And I think that's what separates him too. And why I hesitate to debate whether or not he's the best in the league right now. You know what I mean? I'll put Curry up there, and I think he'll have the edge over Kevin Durant because he stays healthier than the Kevin Durant. But he is younger, way younger than Kevin Durant. But as far as careers is concerned, you can contrast the two. Giannis might have him. You know what I mean? Career wise, KD. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest as a fan. But I think KD still got. I think the Brooklyn Nets gave KD the help that he needed for him to be a 34-year-old player. Like
bro.
realistically.
He got the most help in the world, son.
Yeah, like for
he
real,
got he
he's a
got the
34-year-old player going into next season, and the help that would need for him to win a championship, he has it.
bro.
So we expect to win. You know what I
So
mean? We
now,
you gotta win now.
see that poses a really good question.
Hmm.
So if KD goes yet again without a championship this season,
Hmm.
with all the help that we both can agree that he has, it's a lot of
Yeah.
help. Does this
Barry
put
said Kate still better.
a big damper on KD's legacy?
Yeah, I think so. I think that KD has a lot to prove this season, and again, he wanted to get it out the mud and wanted to do it with Kyrie, and it panned out the way he wanted. And I knew that Kyrie and KD kind of knew the first year that they got here, they were kind of not going to go for it then. They were supposed to come back healthy the next season and go at it. I think Dinwiddie got hurt. That changed plans because instead of respecting Nash and his coaching abilities with the team we had, they said we're gonna get Harden, and he's gonna. We don't need a coach, and that mindset is why we got Harden on the team, in my opinion. But that being said, leading to this year, we were last season we were ranked 20th in defense, and this most significant thing that Nets needed was defense and rebounding, and the acquisitions that we got in the offseason lead to more defense and more rebounding, not necessarily a big man in the paint, but we ranked 20 in defense last season, and this season I expect us to go from 1 to 10. And I think, that's the help that Kevin Durant needed. You can't put him in a situation where he always have to trade baskets. It's not OKC Kevin Durant this when he doing that. You feel what I'm saying? And again, yeah, I think we'll be all right, but I think I understand why we not the favorites. I could see why people would pick other teams over us because we the ones in the hot seat. We do have something to prove, and I think that's the whole MO of this season. Is now or never.
I agree with the now or never aspect. If you in the building, press like for your boys. You know what I mean?
All right,
You know what I mean?
like
Let's do that. You feel me? I agree with the now or never. I feel like if KD don't win it this year, I don't think unless he goes to like another super duper team where he's not don't have to be the leader, he's never going to win another championship. Uh, he's going to be 34 going into the season. This is where for most people, you know what I mean, especially considering KD's injury history over the last few years,
Yeah.
where they start trending downward. Like Father Time is undefeated except for in LeBron's case, but LeBron stopped playing defense, so that's why he's able to to
No, but
still
again,
do it at a high level. But
no.
yeah,
But
but
no, just to add to
the
that.
land of plane, the land of plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if he doesn't do it this year, I think this is literally like his last shot at a championship, like this year. Especially with Kyrie becoming a free agent in the off season, I think that the relationship between the Nets and Kyrie is strenuous. I think he might be out. You feel me? So there's a lot that need to happen. You know what I mean? Yo, my fault.
Yeah,
I gotta go check my food, man.
yeah. I feel like it's about right now, and if we focus on just the numbers, you realize that the most potential we had since all of this trade stuff started happening, the team started changing from the court floor to what we got now with KD, Kyrie, and then what Harden did to the team after with Jarrett and Karras got traded. That this is one of the better rosters that we had out of all the rosters in these past 4 seasons. And you should be confident as a fan because Ben Simmons is playing alongside Seth Curry and he got experience playing with a Seth Curry. And an interesting stat, if you've seen an interview with him and JJ Redick, like 3 seasons in a row, Ben Simmons led the league and assisted for 3 because he was surrounded by JJ Redick and other great shooters on the Philadelphia 76ers. That being said, he has that chemistry already before he played an NBA game with the Brooklyn Nets. He has that chemistry already with Seth Curry. And I think that's going to be part of the reason why he's going to be acclimated to the Brooklyn Nets and he'll be successful. You know what I'm saying? He adds the necessary defense that we need. And yeah, I was talking spicy about him before he was on this team, and that's because he was a rival. So I got smoke for all rivals, like the Knicks, Philly, and all these the Celtics, all of these rival teams. I got smoke for all of them. But what I'm getting at is when it comes to Ben Simmons, he has something to prove as well. Joe Tsai, to the last player on the roster, have something to prove. And I think this season is heavy emphasis on that. And you know what I mean? It's leaning on the pedal. Like everybody got y'all seatbelts on. Y'all good. Y'all good. Lock your doors. Lock your doors. Yo, you want to get out? You want to leave? You got to ask who in the whip. You know what I'm saying? Is you ready? Is you ready to? Because I'm about to lean on the pedal. You know what I'm saying? So, we got to, I think all of that's happening. I see a few pictures with KD smiling with, some of the Dayron Sharp and Cam Thomas in the gym. They was playing basketball. So that's important to me as a fan. And I'm saying all of that, and it's part of because of the reason that they're actually playing basketball now before training camp. You know what I mean? I think that's important to see as a fan, to feel confident that we'll have some chemistry because, we're new teammates per se. We might be veterans and have experience and be nice or whatever, but now we're like new teammates, so we gotta learn to play together. You know what I mean? For us to win an NBA championship, seriously.
Everybody at this point is playing with their pause, is around their teammates. You know what I mean? And playing basketball.
Yeah,
Like this is the time of year where they do that. So they're doing what they should supposed to be doing.
that's what
But,
that's all I'll ask
but
as a fan. Is
so
that they doing what they supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying?
the shout out to my Knicks players, because they've been around each other from a couple of months ago. You feel me? They've been working out and playing basketball together for a couple months now. You feel me? With the new acquisitions and building chemistry, and you hear RJ Barrett talking about working out with Jalen Brunson and how happy he is with the acquisition of him. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be. This is what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Angelo Blue in the building was good. This is what they're
Shout out to
supposed
let
to
them
be
know,
doing.
Angelo.
So
good.
I'm saying this, right? This is what I believe is going to happen. I think during the season, the Nets is going to light it up. They're going to win a whole bunch of games, bunch. But
What's a whole bunch? Give me a number.
I don't care that much to give you a number. Like I don't care how many games. I just know y'all gonna win a lot of games.
No, because all right, go ahead, continue.
Yeah. I just know y'all gonna win a lot of games during the regular season. The media is going, oh my God, the Nets are so good. Oh, they so scary. Oh my God. And when it comes down to winning time and playoffs, y'all gonna fall short. I think y'all get bumped in the second round again. Yeah, I don't see no natural leaders on your team, man. Like the guy who's gonna will y'all to victory went through adversity. You feel me? Like KD is a great basketball player.
I'm letting you
I know you. I'm not expecting you to agree with me. You feel me? Yeah. So KD is a great basketball player.
Yeah.
I mean, he gonna get you buckets, but it's been documented that he's not a great leader. You feel me? So, and that's what I think is going to come down to. I don't think nobody on your team has the heart.
Morris do.
To when he's not he's it usually comes from the best player on your team.
Nah, Jared Dudley had the heart on. He was the heart of our team. Play with me, man. Jared Dudley. He was the best player.
Did Jared Dudley win y'all a championship? That's what we talking about. I'm talking about
heart. You said heart, and I'm letting you know.
I'm talking about. See, this is what I'm saying. You're looking to respond.
Leadership, Morris.
No, we talking about when it comes to winning it all. Yeah, I mean, like you can have heart to lead you to win some games, but when it comes down to winning championships, you need your best players to have the heart.
I think Morris is going to be enough for that.
Nah,
I
he's
think
not.
Morris will help. Yeah, I think he helps the leadership. I think Joe Tsai saw him out. That's what his acquisition.
Bro.
He went over Sean Marks' head and got Morris on the team.
It's gonna be times where Markieff Morris is gonna be sitting on the bench because y'all can't use him in certain situations.
Even if he's on the bench,
so
again, the team, he don't need to be on the floor.
I'm not saying that he's not going to be an addition to the team. You feel me? Like what I'm saying is, I don't care how much heart you have when you sitting on the bench, bro, because it's gonna be times that he's gonna be sitting on the bench because he's not even the fifth best player on your team. You feel me? Like not even the fifth.
Leadership and heart got nothing to do with being the best player on the team.
But it does when you need that leadership on the court, not on the bench.
If that's the case, why Haslam on the Heat?
Because he's a glue guy. It's not his leadership. Jimmy Butler is the leader of the Heat.
Morris is a glue guy as well.
And bro, see, that's what I'm saying. You trying to find any ring around to make your point, but it's not working. What I'm saying is
Haslam got more heart than Morris.
I'm not saying any of that.
Okay.
What I'm saying is you trying to mention Udonis Haslam. He's not the leader of the Heat. Jimmy Butler is. And that's my point.
So what is Haslam doing on the team?
He's a glue guy. He's the OG that could talk to the young fellas and hey,
That's what
hey,
Morris
young fella.
is.
We just talk about heart. I don't care about none of that. My point
Again,
is this.
Morris as
My
well,
point
the
is
OG.
my point. You're making a point that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. You feel me? I'm
Morris the OG, man.
I'm saying when it comes down to trying to win a championship, you need the guy, one of your best players, to have the heart for your team, and your team doesn't have that. Your team doesn't have that, and that's my point. You keep on talking about Markieff Morris. It's going to be times he's going to be sitting on the bench watching from the sideline next to the coach when you're going to need that. When you're going to need that heart at crunch time. Oh, it's a fact.
I disagree. I think.
Markieff Morris played on a lot of really good teams, and it's been times when those teams are in the playoffs because he's not that nice. He was sitting on the bench because he's not that nice.
Yo, I'm telling you, I disagree with me saying it goes against what I'm saying. Kevin Durant is going to find it in his soul, his basketball soul, to play with passion and show leadership in these key moments that we discussing. I think that's what this season is about. It's about something to prove, and that's when he's going to prove it in clutch moments when necessary, because everybody gave him the rhetoric about this very thing, and he deserves some of it, respectfully. But again, this emphasize on why this is the season that he proved something, because some of that is right. And again, what room he got to do anything else? He don't have room to do anything else but to prove it. And with the additional defensive pieces of Royce O'Neal and Ben Simmons, again, this is a polite warning. You know what I mean? And again, I only do this because we do this show together. Otherwise, you would just not expect for us to do what we fitting to do. But y'all should, because we swept y'all 2 seasons in a row. So again, this is why, again, I don't expect to convince you that this is what we're going to do. But as friends, as we know each other, we play basketball with one another, I can at least warn you about what the Brooklyn Nets is going to do, especially in this division. We're going to run this division like we run a city.
And again, we was talking about you guys winning the championship, and I'm telling you that it's not going to happen because you're expecting KD to find the heart to win a championship that he hasn't had his whole entire career. You feel me? When he went to Golden State, that was already a championship team. They already had the emotional and emotional leaders on that team. Draymond Green is the emotional leader of that team. He's the leader of that team. Steph Curry is the nicest now, but Draymond is the leader. Like, that's not a situation where KD had to go and lead. KD, all he had to do was go there and do what KD does. And I'm not saying KD is a bad basketball player. He's great. I'm giving him his just due in that respect. KD gonna get you buckets, bro, because that's what he does. But you expected him to find the leadership qualities that he hasn't had his whole entire career. He's 34 now.
OKC, I think he was.
No, he wasn't the leader, Westbrook, bro. Westbrook was the leader of that team, bro. You fucking. Westbrook was the leader of that team.
I don't know. He wasn't the better player. That's for damn sure.
Again, I'm never saying that KD is usually the.
But that's a matter of opinion.
KD's always the best player on his teams. That's a fact. I'm not arguing that part.
And I don't think he was the leader of Golden State neither. I wouldn't say that.
No, I said he's the best player. I didn't say he was the leader.
No, I'm just saying I don't agree with that neither. I don't think that he's the leader.
So KD's always going to be the best player. He's always going to score. But he's never. Because he's a KD fan, and I know this hurt. I know to hear this truth that I'm spewing to him is hurting his KD fan heart right now, right? Yo, so back to what I was saying, and even if that is true, Barry, that even leads more to my point. If KD was the leader of OKC, they didn't win a championship. They went to the finals and didn't win a championship. You feel me? Because
that being said,
this is. But my point is, he's not the leader that's going to get you the ring. That's my point, and that's my point. And y'all pushing that KD was the leader of OKC kind of further makes my point. Okay. You feel me? That further makes my point. And y'all
Your point is
expecting
what? That he's
KD.
not that guy.
He's not the leader. He is that guy as far as basketball talent goes, but he's not the leader you need that's going to take you to the promised land. He's never been that guy.
I think he steps up. I think he knows that the young guys on the team look to him to be a leader, and I
Bro,
think he has to. You know what I mean?
yo,
See me step up. He got
it's
something to prove. Man.
bro. He's had something to prove since he came to Brooklyn. Like, what makes
That's
it
right.
different this year? Like, it's the
Defense.
same. It's the same amount of pressure on him as soon as he came to Brooklyn. It was pressure. You
The
feel me? And it's the same. It might be more pressure now. You feel me? Because everybody
There's
looking
not
like, yo,
no pressure.
if you ain't winning the championship this year, we gonna have to roast your ass. You feel
Right.
me?
Right. Respectfully, as a fan, when I seen KD and Kyrie wasn't going, I knew KD wasn't going to play, and then Kyrie didn't go to the bubble. I knew it wasn't no chance that we was going to win it that year. Or optimistically, I felt like we could at least get to the second round. We got swept that year by Toronto. The next year, I thought we would compete. Then Dinwiddie got hurt, right? Then the next season, I'll be honest with you. After they dismantled the team for Harden, it was over for me, bro. I felt like my expectations changed because we didn't have the defense, and I see Sean Marks try to make up for the defense because he see. And if we go and look at the specific stat to see what our defensive ranking was when we had Karis LeVert and Jared Allen, and opposed to having James Harden, you can see a significant difference, and that's the cleanup that Sean Marks has done with a Royce O'Neal and a Ben Simmons. And to be honest with you, I shied away from saying it was a good thing that we traded a draft pick for Royce O'Neal. But when I look further into Royce O'Neal, one of the things that Sean Marks emphasized is having guys available. And I think Royce O'Neal played 82 games. He started 82 games for the Utah Jazz. So I think that's something that interested the Brooklyn Nets because what is it to have superstars if you're a GM? We supposed to be the new team in town to attract these superstars, and then they come here and they only play 44 games in 3 years. There's a lot of expectations, but we're not meeting those expectations from on a business standpoint, in my opinion. And part of the reason why they lost Brett. I only said that to say that again, it all goes into how everything, all the ducks are in a row for this season. You know what I'm saying? All of the ducks are in a row. There is no excuses. KD was all ready to leave. I'm sure he's out of here if we don't win it. And I'm sure Kyrie is taking the bag somewhere else if we don't win it. I agree with all of these things. I just feel like that part of the story, I get it. I understand what's going to happen if we don't win, and that we're the underdogs going into the situation. This is why, as a fan, I don't try to convince nobody. Everybody is anticipating basketball. It's media day on Monday. You know what I'm saying? Things is happening, you know what I mean? And then training camp starts, I think, like in a week or two. And then right after that is preseason. Don't the season start in October? Like this is next week is the end of September. You know what I'm saying? We talking like 2 weeks away from basketball. So I'm excited, man. For real.
Yeah, it is a dope time. Right in 10 minutes, Leon Rose is doing. Well, they're airing an interview. Leon Rose did what Alan Hahn on MSG. I gotta go to YouTube after we done with this so I can watch that. But they did show a snippet of my guy Leon Rose. I mean, talking about all the assets that we acquired. Uh, I think we got like 20 draft picks in the next 7 years. Between first and second rounders. And he was pretty much saying that Alan Hahn asked him, the shop closed, and he's like, no, the shop is not closed. You feel me? Like, you acquire these assets to be able to use to better your team. But he did place Leon placed heavy emphasis on how happy him and the rest of the organization are with the players that they have on the team as of now. Including the development of the young guys. And he reiterated that several times while still talking about, keeping the door open to be able to improve the team, because that's what the job is, being able to improve the team whenever it's necessary.
But that's interesting, right? That he said that and you vlogged that all last season, and all the fans said the same thing about the young guys.
Yeah.
And it did not change until the offseason.
No, and
Tommy
that's mostly
rolled out with those old guys, man.
so
And he didn't
so
have to do it.
so and that's mostly because of the media. You know what I mean? Tommy T, he's a win now coach, and the way he thinks about doing it is, I got some guys who has a proven track record on this team, and they go on play. You know what I mean? I'm not agreeing with it. I'm not agreeing with it, but that's his ideology. Like,
What about
he's got
Taj Gibson? You feel like he was overplayed or underplayed? And being a
overplayed,
veteran.
overplayed. I think Taj Gibson at this stage of his career is for emergency use only.
Okay.
He's always going to be ready to play basketball. You feel me? So like if you got two centers in front of him and one get hurt, or you can throw Taj in there. He's going to give you some quality minutes, but he should never be playing 20 plus minutes, 20 plus minutes every night. Like, that should never happen. You feel me? Taj should come out and spot work, give you a good 15. He's going to give you the best 15 minutes that he can possibly give you. You feel me?
Respectfully.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that happened too much with. He should have never been playing over Jericho Sims. I feel like Jericho Sims should have definitely got more PT than Taj. But it is what it is.
Yeah, no, but there you have it.
But it
is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Coming into the season, a lot of those things that Coach Tommy T like to lean on is no longer there. You feel me? Except for Derrick Rose, Alec Burke gone, Kemba Walker gone, Taj Gibson gone. You feel me? So the team is comprised of mostly young guys. So the notion of play the young guys and guys crying for that won't really make sense because most of the team is 25 and under. So he's going to be playing young guys. RJ Barrett is a young guy. RJ Barrett is 22 years old.
What I will say as Rose as being one of my favorite players ever before he got to the Knicks, let me have the emphasis on that part. That I could see his job really being in jeopardy now. Rose, he's definitely he's a great player. Like you said, he's gonna get in there and give you the best minutes he got. But his minutes might be compromised now with things going on.
I think Derrick Rose understands what his role is at this stage of his career. I think, with the organization announced that Emmanuel Quickly will be getting a larger role on the team this year. So, to me, that says we won't have to lean on Derrick Rose as much as we did the year that we went to the playoffs.
Well deserved, though.
You got a Derrick Rose so he can come off the bench and play against the second unit and play against tired starters. He's going to eat in those situations, right? Mm-hmm. So we could get back to him more doing that versus him being tired as well at the end of games. You could put Derrick Rose in and Julius Randle and RJ ain't got it tonight. Quickly out there trying to whatever. Yo, D Rose, come on. Take this game home for us because he closed out a lot of games for us the year that we went into the playoffs. You feel me? Like, he closed out a lot of games for us down the stretch. And us not having to use him as much because we have the talent at the guard position is going to be big for us. You feel me? Like, I can't wait to see Emmanuel Quickly get a bigger role on the team. You feel me? I can't. Jalen Brunson. Like, bro, I'm going to keep on saying it. I think people kind of really undervalued, except for Knicks fans. Knicks fans understand. But everybody else is really undervaluing the signing of Jalen Brunson because everybody that watched the Knicks play, all they ever said, this team just needs a point guard. If this team had a point guard, it'd be a different story. I've watched media outlets say the same thing. If the big ones are the big media outlets, if the Knicks just had a point guard, it'd be a different story. Now we got a point guard, but all of a sudden he's not good enough, and that's weird to me because the guy that everybody was clamoring for us to get in the offseason, Donovan Mitchell, that guy Jalen Brunson busted his ass in the playoffs.
Respectfully,
gave him work.
Me personally,
and got him. Not only gave him work, I'm gonna let it play right now, but not only give him work, got him up out of there.
Yeah, nah, respectfully, yo, to me, he played like a New York point guard, like handle crossover. I can't score the ball. It's unloosen your shoestrings. I'm about to cross you up wild crazy. Shout out to Jalen Brunson. I know he's a force to be reckoned with. I'm not gonna pretend like he's not good until we get beat by them. We as Brooklyn Nets fans know what it is to play in New York City. And I didn't see the New York point guard movie, but what I will say about point guards in New York, yeah, I see it in Brunson, and they thought Kemba was gonna come do it. He ain't do that, but they figured that Brunson would. His daddy did, so I know he's gonna be playing hard because his daddy watching. So I'm not pretending like I don't know what Brunson gonna do. I know he's gonna have a phenomenal year, and part of the reason why the Knicks in the standings are not gonna be what they were last season. So I'm not sleeping. Is what
And
I'm
then you,
saying. I'm just saying they're not the best in the city.
and
They're second best.
another crazy thing about the criticism that Jalen Brunson get is, is that he's undersized and he's not the greatest defender. First of all, if you look at the Mavericks defense, I think they was top 15 in the NBA in defense. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was top 10. You know what I mean, but don't quote me on that, right? With Jalen Brunson being, the point guard for that team. You feel me? And when
Choppy Joe stirring the pot, man. You gonna let him talk like that too?
bro, I don't. Jaffe Joe got to worry about winning the championship, or he gonna be sad on in the comments. He gonna be sad in the comments, making all kind of excuses why the Nets didn't do it yet again. You feel me? Back to my thought process. You feel me? And even last season, we wasn't the top defensive team in the NBA with a backcourt of Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier, but we were still 11. We were still 11 defensively in the NBA. We was ranked 11th on defense in the NBA with a washed up Kemba Walker that couldn't guard. A washed up Kemba Walker that couldn't guard nobody. We were still 11th in the NBA defensively. And I'm not saying that Jalen Brunson's a world beater defender, but he's scrappy. You feel me? He's a scrappy defender. He's gonna put forth the effort, and defense is mostly effort.
Can I ask you something real quick?
What's up?
About the Knicks? In these last 3 seasons, going into this season, that roster, the last year roster with the transactions they made were keeping the Burks guy and getting Kemba and etc. That roster and the roster that they had when Randall had the MIP. In your opinion, is the next season roster that y'all going into the next season, is that the better roster than the last 2?
Absolutely, all day in America.
Okay, so you're saying since like what we started the podcast, this is the best roster y'all got?
In my eyes, yes, and I'm gonna tell you why. The playoff year, we had nobody that can score off the dribble on that team except for Julius Randle. Julius Randle was the only person that could create his own shot on that team until Derrick Rose came. And then it was Julius Randle and Derrick Rose and a little bit RJ, because RJ wasn't really creating for himself that well that year. You know what I mean? That was his second year in the NBA. So he was still not doing so it was really just Julius Randle creating for himself. This year it's different. You got multiple guys that can create for themselves off the dribble. And you have a point guard that is a multiple threat. You feel me? You have a point guard that's a not only a scoring threat, he can pass the ball. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't have that our first year with Elfrid Payton. Elfrid Payton wasn't a scoring threat at all. You know what I mean? He could pass the ball, but he wasn't a scoring threat. That's why we didn't really take off until Derrick Rose got there. This year, you got Jalen Brunson, scoring threat. You got Emmanuel quickly coming off the bench, improved. And you also got to understand, too, that some of the guys that's on the team are going to naturally progress. You feel me? Like, that's a part of the game you also got to look out, too. Obi getting better. We saw flashes of what Obi could be last year at the end of the season. You saw flashes of what Emmanuel quickly could be at the end of the season. You saw what we got to see what we could get out of Cam Reddish, because what I saw from Cam Reddish when he was playing and actually healthy, I saw some flashes where he could be like really good. So I think with all that young talent on the team, the ability to be able to score off the dribble. I mean, yeah, score off the dribble and all that stuff, right? And defensively being able to switch because we a rangy bunch of wing guys, except for Jalen Brunson, he's like the shortest guy, but the ability to be able to switch on defense is gonna be fire.
Yo, I just checked the stat and seen the matchup because I really want to see the matchup between Kyrie Irving, Uncle Drew, and Jalen Brunson. I feel like they the same kind of player, got a lot of handles, know how to attack the basket. And I look and see that Jalen Brunson is up 2-0 versus Kyrie Irving. Jalen Brunson had averaged 8.5 points. Kyrie Irving averaged 32 points. He was cooking Brunson. Like, yeah, we lost the game. That's true. But just a head-to-head matchup, that is somebody getting cooked.
That's such a misleading stat, right?
Now I'm gonna look at the highlights and see those games. I want to see what happened versus Kyrie versus Brunson. I want to see
like
that.
like I was saying, that's such a misleading stat because there's so many different variables that you have to factor. Like how often was Jalen Brunson guarding Kyrie? Like how there's so much.
Kyrie got 45. Nobody was guarding him. What are you talking about?
But obviously that's a fact. But you can't say he cooked Jalen Brunson because you don't even know if Jalen Brunson was guarding him. You just
nobody was guarding him, is what I'm saying. Nobody was guarding him. Not with 45 points.
So what I'm saying is, you said he cooked Jalen Brunson, and I'm like, how you gonna say that? You don't even know if they were guarding each other, because there've been times that Kyrie played the two.
You want to pull up the highlights?
You could do whatever you want. I don't care. You feel me? I don't care. But what I'm saying is, it's a different ball game now. You feel me? It's a different. You want a different team.
No, because you keep talking about the matchup with Donovan Mitchell, and rightfully so. And I'm thought process. I didn't think of this until you kept saying that. And I'm like, damn, we're gonna have to play them. And like, who will he be matched up with when you think about our team? 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be Kyrie versus Brunson. I just see them being matched up versus each other. And most times, I don't know if going into what I will say is from last season to the other season when we had D'Antoni, we played a different kind of defense. And sometimes it was good when we used to switch, but a lot of man to man ain't good. All switching ain't good if we got Patty Mills out there. So we should play man to man when Patty, not when Patty out there. You know what I'm saying? Don't have, and that's how we lost the Boston series, is the switch from Patty and on Jalen Brunson. That was part of it. But I'm saying that to say, defensive wise, Kyrie, I think he guards a Brunson one-on-one. We don't have to switch. We don't need to put Ben Simmons on Brunson. But we would if we had to. If Kyrie was cooking Brunson, if Brunson was cooking Kyrie, which I can't see happening, I think we put a Ben Simmons on Brunson. But I think Kyrie will handle Brunson. Like I just don't see how y'all can deal with us on the and when we verse y'all. Like I really feel like y'all a good team. Y'all gonna be one of the better teams in the East. And when I did my rankings, I didn't put y'all in 1 through 6. I got y'all like 7 now. You know, respectfully, I had the Nets, I had Milwaukee, I had Boston. I don't know about Boston. I think Boston slips because of this coach situation with Ime Udoka. I think they slipped. And now the Knicks got a little room. Honestly, because y'all take Boston spot. Honestly, I don't know if y'all go to 3rd, but I think y'all ain't 1 to 6 because of what happened with Boston. I think it's going to be a mess in Boston, and they're going to be 6 or 7, maybe 5, 6, or 7. Look for them between those numbers, and I think the Knicks could be in the mix with Boston in rankings because of that. For real.
Who run the city? Talking shit.
Man, the Nets run the city. You know who it is, man. Joffy jokes happening, man.
Yeah.
Joffy, what up?
Yo, bro, why you look so upset, man?
I ain't upset.
You talk about your team. You looking so upset over there.
I'm tired. I ain't upset. You know what I mean? I'm tired and I'm hungry. You feel me? But I ain't upset. I'm actually very excited. Can't wait for the season to start. You know what I mean?
But what you excited about, bitch? I see you talking about Brunson. You ain't talking about Randall enough, man.
I mean,
like he got no right hand. Like he's an easy stop.
No, he's not an easy stop.
How is he a threat?
You see, look, this is.
And then when you force him to go right, his stats go down. His numbers go down. He shoot like 30-something% from the field.
Look, this is what I'm saying. Why y'all be talking about your ass and don't be knowing what y'all be talking about, right?
What you mean?
I'm about to tell you if you chill out for a second, right? So You talking about here easy stop, but when you watch the Knicks games, there's so much effort going into stopping Julius Randle. They pack the paint against Julius Randle every time. You feel me? And the game plan for every team last season playing the Knicks was to stop Julius Randle. If he was such an easy stop, they wouldn't have to put that much effort into stopping Julius Randle. and even
that's not
and
true.
even on a bad season, he's still 20, 10, and 5. What are you talking
He could
about?
be 20, 10, and 5, but he's not impacting our team and winning in no way because y'all didn't make the playoffs last season.
First of all, it's not just him. A lot of people on the team wasn't playing well. That's a fact. You feel me? So this is what I'm saying.
But if you the leader of the team, you got to make your team better.
Bro, I could say that about your whole entire KD ain't win no championship. He ain't even won one game in the playoffs. And he's supposed to be the second best, one of the best players in the NBA. Couldn't even win the playoff game.
All right, but hold on. Keep it a buck, bro.
I say KD is an easy stop? Like, that don't make sense.
No, but listen, though. We didn't have a team, bro. We didn't have a good team around those two since they got here. You know that.
No, I don't know that. That's cat.
So you think two players could beat a complete team that got chemistry and all that?
No, it wasn't two players. It was more than two players, bro. Your coach is just trash.
But you know what I'm trying to say, though?
I don't, because what you're saying is cat.
Yo, bro, the team we had, the only good team we had was that team with Jeff Green, Landry Shamet, when we took Milwaukee to 7 games. After everybody left, them teams we had was dirty.
That's cat. That's cat.
How is that cat?
That's cat, bro, because the fact that team was dirt, bro. How was that team dirt when before KD got injured? Y'all was like,
because we was forcing to make the play-in. How we go from making a playoff, right? From like a I forgot what seed we was, but we faced the Bucks in the second round, right?
Yeah.
But the next year after that, we a playing team.
Yeah, bro, because your coach is dirt. That's why. It's not the team. Your coach is dirt. You feel me? That's why your coach is dirt, bro. There's no reason in the world that as a coach you got, even though Kyrie was playing, part time, you got Kyrie and James Harden on your team, and you still lose 13 games in a row. That's because of the coach. That's bad coaching, bro.
That's when everybody went down.
And you still
that's when the rookies was playing.
And then you still got, even though LaMarcus Aldridge is a shadow of himself, he's still very serviceable. You got him on the bench. You feel me?
Nah, come on, stop it,
bro. Son, you know how much pressure having a 5 that is automatic from midi can take off your best players.
Bro, he was getting cooked by the bigs, bro. Come on, he wasn't the same. Just like Blake Griffin
I'm not
was.
saying he didn't have to be the same, bro. I mean, you talk about, like, I'm saying that he needed to play like big minutes. No, I'm saying that he shouldn't be collecting dust on the bench. Neither should Blake Griffin. Nash was using Blake Griffin wrong. Like, that's bad coaching. It's not that the team was bad. Y'all had a decent team. And even when it comes, I'll sit here every week and listen to your man Big Fabry talk about the young guys. Talk about Day'Ron Sharp, DDJ. Them guys is getting no PT. That's bad coaching. So to say that KD didn't have a team, that's craziness. It's just the fact that bro, look, and then when you talk about the playoffs too, you got Drum out there. He was having decent first halves. I'm not saying that he was doing anything that knock your socks off, but he was doing what he was supposed to do. There's no reason you come out in the second half and Drum don't get no PT.
All right, so let me ask you this. So in your own opinion, do you think this is the best team we've had since KD and Kyrie have been here?
Bro, I think.
Answer the question, bro.
No, I am. I'm thinking. And I would have to say, yes, this is on paper the best team.
Okay, then. You just cool.
Huh? Yo. No, I didn't prove your point. because you said he had no team, and that's cap. The call drop. Yep. Uh, what he was saying was that they didn't have no team, and I'm like, that's cap, bro. Like, how you gonna say that they didn't have no team outside of KD and Kyrie? Like, that's cap. It was a lot of decent players. The supporting cast from the Brooklyn Nets was really good. Supposed to be really good last season. Patty Mills, Seth Curry, your favorite player, Cam Thomas, Blake Griffin, Bruce Brown.
Yep.
Like these are not scrubby players. Like
He didn't, and again, you know, I fell back after I'm listening to the phone calls. You know, every Nets fan they feel away, and I mean, I do Nets and nights with Jaffe Joe, so we agree sometimes. Sometimes we don't. Shout out to my guy Jaffe Joe, but yeah, I feel like we were very talented last season, and the right guys that should have got minutes didn't get minutes. And you know, I complained about Cam Thomas, like I said prior. He played 67 games out of 82, and that's with an injury. I wanted him to get more minutes, especially when Dragic came to the team. And I felt like the reason why Patty Mills got burnt out around the All-Star game is because he could have gave Cam Thomas more minutes, and he didn't. I understand in college they don't play a lot of games. I think the max they play is like 20 something games or something like that.
yeah,
So
it's more than 20 something, but it is
yeah,
no big
but
deal.
to contrast it to NBA schedule, I can understand how it would be you know, a lot for a rookie player. But you know, respectfully, you know, there's rookies that did it, and I just think that's a contract thing. Where if he's the 27th pick, he's only entitled to X amount of minutes. Especially with Patty Mills being a veteran, you know, I know he took what Joe Harris was going to do had he been healthy. So I know that's what part of the reason was. But again, more the reason why he should have gave the minutes to Cam Thomas and the Dayron Sharp. He gave the same production as a James Johnson with half the minutes, and that's the reason why I put a lot of emphasis on Dayron Sharp playing more basketball for the Brooklyn Nets last season. Yeah, you know, I think we had a lot of things we could have did different, and Nash did not do it. He did not make in game or in season adjustments, like contrasting to Ime Duco. You know, Ime Duco, you know, they did I think they put Marcus Smart at the point guard, and he took less, became more facilitator than a 3-point shooter, a spot up shooter, and put him in a situation on defense where, you know, he was hounding the ball or whatever. He did something to become decoy. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's part of the Ime Duco effect. So, as a fan, you want to see the coach have an impact with the players on the roster. How are you mixing them up for them to play well? Or are you even playing the players that the fans like, because we've seen the players play great basketball? So, you know, the coach means a lot. I do this a lot where I go on different podcasts, and I always ask the significance of a coach and what it means to winning basketball. And I'm gonna say that the NBA, from what the NBA streets is talking about, they say like 30-40%. I tend to agree. I do put a lot on the players, but for KD and Kyrie to say we don't need a coach, and then have 4 seasons where we didn't win no basketball for real, like a championship, I have to, as a fan, disagree with that notion and feel like we do need a coach. And why I put heavy emphasis on a Brian Keefe and the significance he'll be as an assistant coach, not coaching for Nash, but with a Nash. So yeah, no, coaching means a lot for any sport, for that matter, not just
Yeah.
basketball.
So you know, speaking of coaching, like this year is up to Coach Tommy T. You know, not to burn out his starters. Like I think there's a lot of talent on this team. There's literally no reason for Julius Randle and R.J. Barrett to be playing 36 minutes a game. I think that's they don't have to. It's not
Right.
necessary. When you got well, where depending on what their starting lineup is, any one of R.J. Barrett's replacements could be Quentin Grimes, Cam Reddish, or Evan Fournier, depending on what the starting lineup is, right? So
Mhm.
there's no reason for R.J. Barrett to have to play.
Fries, what up?
But Fraz was good, Brody. You already know the vibery. You feel me? Yeah. So there's no reason for RJ to have to play 36 minutes a game or Julius Randle. I mean, Obi should be at least getting 20 minutes a game coming off the bench, at the
Mhm.
very least. Yeah, I mean, he showed it at the end of the season that he earned those minutes, man. And it's up to, and I think the goal too, with even with Mitchell Robinson bringing Hartenstein in, with him and Sims being a backup for Mitchell Robinson, is not have him play so many minutes because conditioning wise, I don't know what's wrong with him. He just don't look like he could get right conditioning wise. You feel me? And uh, it's such, in 7 footers, man, it's hard to keep them healthy. You feel me? Like, and you don't need to be playing Mitch that many minutes. Hartenstein is a great uh Hartenstein is a great not great, but he's a good backup. So is Jericho Sims. So you can interchange all those minutes. Like, we know the known for Coach Tommy T is, to play his starters heavy minutes, but that hasn't been a winning formula, son. It leads to injuries. You feel me?
I'm listening to you.
Small ones, and you know, potentially career-ending ones. Yeah, I mean, so that's his challenge for this year is to incorporate as many people as he can into the rotation and giving the bench players the adequate minutes because it was a lot of games last season we lost that the bench brought us back in and then he yanked them to put the cold starters back in.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of the show. I wanted to talk about how y'all lost all of the games last season because y'all had the lead, and then it was like y'all didn't protect the lead, like y'all didn't hug it and hold it close and hold it there. Your arms were loose. You just let the lead leave your arms and like without care, not protect the lead. Just gave the lead up like free pie, and I wondered why.
Sort
Do
of like
you
how y'all
think that
sort
changes this season?
sort of how y'all was doing in the playoffs because y'all had leads in those games and y'all gave it up freely without a care, not hugging it, just dropped it straight through your arms. All the things you just said, y'all was doing that in the playoffs though, right?
Nah,
Yeah, yeah.
nah,
So
that don't match, man.
to respond to that, that mostly had to do with lack of quality point guard play in those games. Running uh running what's his name, Alec Burke as at the one that
Hmm.
that hurt the offense. You know what I mean? Like we couldn't get buckets. That was the problem. Like and yanking, like I said earlier, yanking the bench out when they the ones who got us the lead in the first place, or
Okay,
not putting those guys back in the fourth quarter when those the guys who came with the energy, or keeping the starters out too long. I mean, keeping
checking
them
it.
in too long. Like for
What you're
instance,
saying is valid. What you're saying is valid because I'm checking the stats, so I know it's valid. You guys were 26 out of 30 teams. Y'all were 26 in offense last season.
yeah, bruh, because we couldn't initiate any offense. You know what I mean? We couldn't initiate any offense. There was no easy buckets to be had. You feel me? Like that was a big thing for us. Like we weren't getting easy buckets. Like all the buckets that we got had to be.
Damn, yo, you're right. When I checked, y'all were dead last, number 30 for field goal percentage last season.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. I know because I watched.
Good lord. So what changes? Y'all were 30 last season. And do you predict y'all not being what did
Oh
y'all
no,
go to 29?
because it's going to be a lot more easier baskets. In the way you get easier baskets is having a point guard that can consistently break down the defense, right?
Okay.
And we have that in Jalen Brunson and Emmanuel quickly. Like
37.7 was the best and the worst, which is the Knicks, and 43.7
so,
is the
yeah.
best by Phoenix.
So
And we were
so
what, fifth for 42%.
so what I'm saying is this, right? Excuse me. Jalen Brunson being able to break down the defense consistently. Like today's NBA offense is this, right? You got somebody who gets into the lane and they kick the ball out. They make the proper rim reads, right? That wasn't happening last year, right? That wasn't happening. You will have Alec Burke try to get into the lane, feel contact, throw his head back, and throw the ball up. As I watch Alec Burke on so many occasions, miss Obi cutting to the basket, missing alley oops for Mitch, like missing RJ cutting to the basket, like these things, because he was asked to do something that he's not equipped to do, which is run point guard. You feel me? Like that's not a skill set of his. Same thing with Julius Randle. He was asked to be a point forward, something that's not necessarily his skill set, and that's what made the offense suffer. Yo, you just got your mic just got mad low. Pause.
All right, hold on. What about
There you
now?
go. You go. You back. You back.
All right. The irony I feel about the trade happening for y'all to increase y'all offense. I mean, that's the whole reason why y'all went after Fournier
There
after
was no
Kimba.
trade. One. There wasn't no
Okay,
trade.
but the reason why they were acquisitions to the team was to increase the
Yeah.
offense,
So
and you get this whole soliloquy about how, and you were right because Fournier came in, he broke Stark's record, but for y'all to be, that's a personal stat
so
for him. You
so
contrast to y'all being 30th in
so
offense.
so Fournier came and did exactly what he's supposed to do. He shot 39% from 3-point range. That's what he came. That's what he was supposed to do. Now, the part that messed up for us was Kemba Walker not being Kemba Walker. Because what Jalen Brunson is coming to do is what
Y'all
we
wasn't, but you're ninth in 3-point percentage. Oh, 3-point
this
is made.
this is so what Jalen Brunson is coming to do is what we hoped Kemba Walker would be able to do, right?
Damn,
Because
24.
offensively they have a similar style of play. Like what Kemba Walker was supposed to do, that's what Jalen Brunson is going to do. You feel me? And there's been times where you could see in the beginning of the season Julius Randle giving Kemba Walker the ball to be Kemba Walker, and Kemba Walker just couldn't do it. He'll pass the ball back. He didn't want no smoke. He didn't want no smoke. He had his a couple games where he went off, but for the most part, I think it might like Kemba Walker knees might be a rat. You know what I mean? So that was the big difference. That's why the offense suffered. And you know, Derrick Rose being injured most of the season. That was another thing too, because he's a initiator of offense, doing what I was just saying, breaking down defense, getting to the rim, kicking the ball out, making the proper rim read, hit the floater, maybe lay it up, kick it out, and that's what most NBA offense is made of this in this era. You know,
Wow. Yeah,
yeah,
no, I'm listening to everything you're saying, and I'm checking the stats as you're talking. And I looked at the stat, excuse me, before the
I think we.
trade.
I'm sorry,
It
Control, but I think we were low in assists too. You feel me? Assists per game.
Yeah, but you know, like you said, he came there to do what he was supposed to do, and he did. Y'all were 21 and 3-pointers made with Fournier got there. Then he got there, and then y'all were ninth. So he did do that. And you know, I was looking to see actually about Joe Harris because I look at that stat and I said, "What were we? We were 24th last season." I said, "God damn, we missed Joe Harris that much." And I look and I see the difference. When Joe Harris was there, we were seventh. We went from 7th to 24th in 3-pointers made because we missed Joe Harris a lot of the season last season. So these players being injured have a big impact on the team, especially when you revolve your offense and run your offense through them. As a coach, I think that's where you have to show your skills. This is where you step up and say, okay, I know how to adjust because this player, we're waiting for him to be back healthy. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So we want to see more of that from Nash. Like, and I look at these stats. Go ahead, I'll continue. I just wanted to add to what you said. I'm gonna check the defense because that's what I was really
So,
looking for.
so yeah, to finish my answer to my response to what you were saying about us losing leads, that was the case. You feel me? Us not be able to get in the late game offense, and again, I reiterate, especially in late game situations, most of the offense you see is somebody getting to the rim, right? Either laying it up, throwing the alley oop, or kicking it out to the corners for an open three. That did not happen with the New York Knicks. It did not happen. Almost never. You feel me? Almost never. And we almost never got easy baskets.
Okay, you say almost never. You guys were number 30 in assists last season.
Trying to tell you. You know what I mean?
Bad, bro. I mean, shout out to you. That's pretty. You know basketball. You know your
So
team. But
and that's
damn, man,
because
this
we
is
didn't
this
have
is
a real point guard. You
sad
feel me?
music. Yeah,
And that's because we have a real point guard. And,
we were
and
10th in assists.
I think that's gonna change this year. I don't
Okay, so
think
y'all
that's
go
gonna
from
change. I
30th
know.
to what?
I mean, I hate making those kind of predictions. You feel me?
Okay,
Like
but you say it's going to change, so it won't be 30 next season.
hell nah. You feel me? I could tell you that much. You know what I mean? I could tell you that much. Hell nah, it ain't gonna be 30. You know what I mean? I, and people, more criticism for Jalen Brunson. Oh, he's not a passing uh, point guard. I'm like, that's cap.
Y'all weren't
Because
that bad
I
in the
did, I did,
turnovers though. Y'all were
I did,
eighth.
I did
Y'all
my
did okay.
I did my research on Jalen Brunson, and in college, he was very much a passing point guard.
Mhm.
You feel me? Like he's very much. And if you even listen to how Jalen Brunson talk and describe his own game, he knows he's coming here to manage. You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm here to manage this offense. I'm here to make sure that RJ and Julius get the ball in the right places and the score when necessary. You
I'm
feel
not.
me?
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not gonna play the fool and pretend like he not a force to reckon with. I already understand what it is, and I'm not gonna. No, y'all not gonna put us in a position like, oh, I can't believe he did that. Nah, we're not gonna. Y'all not, do not have that element of surprise adding the Jalen Brunson. There's a lot of respect around his name around the league. I've seen it in tweets. I've checked his highlights to see what we're gonna be facing. Um, yeah, I understand
And
that.
then,
Yeah,
uh,
I don't know how competitive y'all going to be, and I say that for the reason I think y'all on the brink of trying to find out who the real leader is of the team, and I see a Brunson adding to help that or resolve that, but it's still in the air, and
and
I
then you
feel
know
like
what's even another underrated signing in my eyes, especially with a team full of slashers. I keep on telling people Hartenstein is going to be very important to the New York Knicks because of his passing ability as a five. Bro, like this kid could pass for real. And I'm not talking about like, wide open passes. I'm talking about threading the needle, like passing in traffic. Like that he and when you got guys who like to attack the rim like Julius, like RJ, like Obi, like Cam. Like when you got guys on a team that can attack the basket and like to cut, and you got a five that's on the court and that can hit them with it dropping dimes off, bro. You feel me? Like that, he's gonna be very important. Oh, Ray was good. Rampage Ray in the building. Yeah, drop it. That's gonna be very important. Not only to mention that he's a stretch five too. He can shoot the three,
mm-hmm,
create space for the guys that I just mentioned. Like
mm-hmm.
watching him run the floor and play with Obi and Quick and whoever else is in the second unit, it's gonna be dope to see. Cause now that's gonna give Obi the space he need to do what he does. You feel me? It's
No,
gonna be some
I
people.
hear you, bro. I
Gonna
hear
be
you.
some
I mean,
people.
I think you're gonna do that to a lot of teams, just not us.
We'll see. We gonna see. We gonna see. We gonna see. A lot of people on posters messing with Obi this year, man.
Listen, and I respectfully, I'm not saying this. I'm saying this because I'm competitive, and I know we're going to compete versus y'all. And we got, and when I checked, I was off by 2. We were defense ranked 18, not 20. But still, we need help on defense, and we got that with a Royce O'Neal and a Ben Simmons. And I feel like that's part of the reason that I'm confident because Nick Claxton and Ben Simmons on the floor spells or at the same time spells defense. And I'm looking forward to seeing Nick Claxton continued, like you said prior, do what he's supposed to do. He's in the gym working out. They complained about him being too skinny. He in the gym working out, hitting the weights, getting bigger. To me, that means something. Again, I seen the greats do it. You see it in the Jordan because of Detroit. You see it in the Nick Claxton because of the Celtics. Listen, he's out there doing what he's supposed to be doing. And again, him and Ben Simmons on the floor at the same time spells defense, and we go from 18 to a top 10 team, maybe a top 5. We're in that top 10 for sure, though. I got us top 10 for sure next season because of these 2 acquisitions and Brian Keefe being the assistant coach of the Brooklyn Nets. And I'm excited about that because I feel like we put a lot of pressure on Kevin Durant to win and lose us games because of the offense. We need to put him in more of a situation where he has a cushion. If he missed a shot, it's okay because we're going to come back and play great defense. You can't depend on the player no matter how great of an offensive player he is to win and lose you the games when you don't rely on none of that obligation on the defense. And I think adding these players help us balance the offense and the defense. So yeah, man, I'm confident, man. I can't wait till the season start. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm about to buy these tickets for the Nets versus Knicks pretty soon, man, because that game is 11-9. And I'm again, man, I'm anxious, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm telling you, during the regular season, y'all gonna win a lot of games, man. Y'all gonna win a lot of games, and I I can't wait for
50
you to,
people saying 50 plus.
I can't wait for you to get on here and start talking crazy because I know what the end result is gonna look like, and
Yo, man, listen, I feel like right now we got something to prove. The first 20 games are going to say a lot for the Brooklyn Nets, and it's going to show what Nash can and can't do based on us having 5 back-to-back games in that first 20 games. Those back-to-back games are going to show whether or not Nash is good at coaching or not, because he's going to be in situations where he can't burn out a Patty Mills, Kevin Durant, or a Kyrie Irving. That being said, he doesn't have to invent the wheel. You got a lot of guys that proved themselves last season, like a Cam Thomas, Kessler Edwards, and Day'Ron Sharp. You know you could go to these guys. These are your go-to guys. Go to the go-to guys. Let's not confuse this. Go to your go-to guys. You do that, and then you got Seth Curry. We can rely on Seth Curry. I think he showed up in the playoffs. Listen, I like how he's an addition to the team, and having him with Ben Simmons, I make things makes the Ben Simmons acquisition in to my liking. I favor it now because Seth Curry was there. If Ben Simmons was there alone, without Drum, who he came with Philly, without Harden, I mean not Harden, without or Seth Curry, I'll be like, damn, you know what I mean? He's gonna be awkward. You know, he said he had a mental health issue or whatever. You know, I feel like it won't go well over for him because it's a new situation. He got nothing around him that's familiar. But with a Seth Curry, I see the camaraderie because they were teammates, and I did part of the reason why we're going to be a great basketball team. And I see the same thing. I feel like we're going to win 50 plus games, 55 games, you know, and I think we get out the first round. And again, success for the Brooklyn Nets is getting past the first, second round, get to the Eastern Conference Finals and winning that too. It's not enough for us to get to the Eastern Conference Finals and lose there. That's not enough. We got to get to the finals or win the championship. I think that's what thing will make fans happy, to be honest.
It's literally championship or bust for you guys, bro. Like it's.
I mean, I think that's what the organization will do. But as a fan, yeah, I want the championship. But if they got to the finals and took it to Game 7,
I don't see how you're happy with that when you look at the names on your roster. Like I don't see how.
I think we compete. I think again, you got to realize the names on the roster ain't actually the players on the floor all the time. When you think about who played the most games, it was Bruce Brown, Patty Mills, and James Johnson, and Cam Thomas. So these are the players that are actually available. You feel what I'm saying? Kevin Durant played 50 plus games, which is good. Kyrie played 21 games. You feel what I'm saying? So again, you talk about the players on the roster. Realistically, they're on a paper. They're not actually playing basketball. So we got to look at that part as well.
When it mattered in the playoffs, KD and Kyrie was on the court. And that's what I'm saying. You feel me?
Yeah, they were. They were. We could have got a 1 win. We could have definitely got one.
Your best players was on the court. And what I'm saying is, when you look at the name on the roster, because that's the people you expect to be on the court, it's championship or bust for you guys. You can't have a team with Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Ben Simmons. You can't have those 3 names on your roster and not think, we need to be winning the championship. Like that is championship or bust. If you guys don't win a championship, it's a failure of a season again.
Yeah. I mean, we get a lot of that, but I'm just saying, as a fan, if we made it to the finals and took but I'll be honest with you, I feel like momentum wise, that's going to have a lot to say for us who wins this too. You know what I mean? And if we get to the finals, I think we win the finals. You know what I mean? And I really don't see us getting swept in the first round. You know, listen, I'm not against none of the rhetoric. I hear y'all talking hot shit all summer long. I get it, bro. But going into next season, nah, I think we do win a lot of games and we get out of the first round 4-2 tops. That's the most competition we'll have. But I think we I don't know if we sweep the first round, but I think we definitely get to the second round. It'd be tough. We'll see. And the only reason why I feel like a lot of the predictions that I make about the playoffs sometimes valid is just only because the Atlantic Division had 4 out of 5 teams, and we played pretty much the team that we're going to play in the playoffs 4 times before the playoffs. So, you can learn a team like that. You know what I'm saying? So,
Well,
I'm confident part of it because of
at
that.
least you're supposed to, but it's different. It's
The
different
refs make
in
it
the
different
playoffs.
though.
Not,
Yeah.
not, not and this is why coaching is important in the playoffs
Facts.
because game to game adjustments.
Mhm.
Not only in game adjustment, game to game adjustments. Because though you play these guys, you're the other team 4 times during the season. They're not your main focus. You feel me? Like
Word.
because you got enough. Just like you're not really planning the same way that you're planning for the team in the playoffs. Like because you got another team after. So it's like, yeah, this is the game plan for this game, but we also got to get ready for the next game after. But in the playoffs, at the very least, we're gonna play these guys 4 times. So now all our now
Ooh. If KD get Finals MVP, that's amazing, bro. Very cold, yo. I like that.
Barry
I
Barry
like,
KD
yeah. That's
KD ain't
supposed to
gonna
happen.
KD ain't gonna win MVP this year, bro.
Finals
Sorry,
MVP. I
not
think he could win the Finals MVP.
it's not.
Yeah.
I don't think y'all going to the
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't think y'all going to the fight.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
But
But
okay, but where you see y'all seeded? Because I mean, I'm not gonna
I
finish you.
told you
I'm
already.
you
I
6
told you
seed.
6. Yeah, I told you
Okay.
6.
Okay.
6. Absolutely, all day in America.
Like
Yeah.
solid, like, or y'all fighting for that with Cleveland or somebody?
Bro, the East is tough, so it might be a
It
fight.
is tough.
So, but I feel confident that we're gonna be in the 6th seed because I really think that we're gonna surprise a lot of people, bro. Like,
With the new acquisitions and the comparison of a Donovan Mitchell and, like you said, a Brunson, who do you consider having the better backcourt with Cleveland and or the Knicks?
bro, Cleveland does. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay.
Cleveland does. And I think me personally, I think RJ, like if they move, if it depends on what the starting lineup is going to be because we don't know
Okay.
if we
So
don't we
you
don't
know
know
Cleveland lineup is
we
Garland and Mitchell.
yeah,
So
we don't know
who y'all got?
if we don't know if Fournier is going to start. We don't know if Grimes is going to start. We don't know if they're going to put RJ at the 2 and start Cam Reddish at
If
the 3.
4 years start,
Like,
y'all definitely don't got the
so
best backcourt.
but I say if we end up in a situation where Cam is moved to the 3, RJ's moved back to the 2, I say we do. You feel me? Because no, I can't even say that. I still say Cleveland because I think no, I can't even really say well on paper, Donovan Mitchell is listed as better than Jalen Brunson, right? And I'm not going to argue that, right? But and if RJ is playing 2, I think Barrett is better than Darius Garland. That's unpopular because Darius put up more points per game, but RJ Barrett is a better overall player. Your mic, I don't know what happened.
Oh no, you get me?
Yeah. You good?
I think they got Sexton out of there because how well Garland played.
Yeah.
Like,
Darius Garland is a bucket, but at the same time, I think RJ Barrett is a better overall player. You feel me? I think
respectfully.
Garland don't play no defense. Now you talk about they was talking all this mess about Jalen Brunson. Cleveland's backcourt is tiny, and neither one of them play defense.
They
Neither
only
one of
get
them.
they get away with it because of the small forward, power forward, and a center.
Yeah.
I noticed too.
So
I noticed that too.
yeah,
But they could get work, especially with
but
a Ben Simmons in the
what
backcourt. We
was
got that advantage. They got to
Cleveland
switch
really
that.
didn't start turning up last year until after Sexton went down. So they got better defensively. The worst player on their team defensively was Garland, and they played all those tall people to make up for Garland's mistake. But
That's
now
a
you
fact.
got 2 guys in the backcourt that are defensive liabilities. You
That
feel me?
switch gonna be crazy if Cleveland don't
So
learn that switch. They put them on a switch. They got Garland, Mitchell on the island. Somebody like Kyrie giving
Darius
them work.
Darius got your all your big men gonna be in foul trouble because neither one of those guys could guard anybody. You feel me? So there's gonna be a lot of runs to the rims. You send
Attacking
it,
the basket. That's a
yeah,
fact.
yeah.
That's a
So
fact. They
so
take a risk with that, man. But far as front office moves, I
they
don't
did.
know who had the best front office moves this season. There was a lot of moves made. Excuse me. I think we might be. Our shit is weird, man. I mean, we just got KD back and we added Royce O'Neal and
You can't say got him back. He never left. He was under contract,
he
bro.
never left.
He
He
never left.
never left. Like right. He never left. We lost Drum. I didn't like that, to be honest. I don't feel like we replaced Jared Allen or we replaced Drum. And again, I like Nick Claxton. I see they got a vote of confidence in Nick Claxton. But again, Jared Allen, respectfully, was one of the best big men that the Brooklyn Nets seen probably since Brook Lopez.
Yo,
And Nick Claxton got a big shoes to fill, trying to do what
you know what's crazy about
Jared Allen did.
you know what's crazy about Drum is I think he probably would have resigned with you guys if he got PT. It's not like he went. And
Yeah,
got,
we sat
he didn't.
him when
He
we
didn't
shouldn't have
go get
sat
the
him.
bag, bro. He didn't go get the bag.
We didn't. Nah, no. But I don't know
So,
why. I think that's why he left too. He definitely didn't feel like, he didn't know why he wasn't playing. I like you look over like, why am I even here right now?
because like I was telling Jaffe, and I told you before, in the playoffs, he was having decent first halves. He was
Nah, I
playing.
know. I
He was
know.
having,
Trust me, I
and
know.
it made no sense for him to be sitting on the bench all second half. It didn't make no sense. And
Nah, I
I told you too. I said, "Oh, he's not coming back, bro. He's
Nah, I
not
know.
coming back."
Trust me, I know. I seen the frustration in the Drum, and again, on the good side of it, I seen him have fun when we were up, and because he was part of the reason. He was catching those fancy passes from Kevin Durant. He was helping Kevin Durant. He was a presence in the middle. He made sure Kevin Durant didn't have to grab every rebound. He didn't have to play both sides of the ball as tough because Drum was there. He was a presence,
And
and
Grant Williams couldn't take over. You feel?
yeah, you know what I mean? Presence in the regular season, he was a presence in the playoffs. I think he could have played Aldridge alongside Drum, and that would have been a good mix. That's part of the coaching that we need to see
Nah,
because we're all.
they would have ran y'all out the court with both of them on the court at the same
Nah,
time.
I don't. But again, you at least try, and you could go heavy with the if, and I won't debate it because he didn't even try, and that's the bone to pick. That's the bone I have to pick with Nash is that you didn't try for me to even debate it. Again, the significance of me saying that is the Aldridge, they can't double KD, in the paint situation. And yeah, we might lose on a fast break situation, but we lost in a fast break situation even with Drum. You look at how many fast break points the Celtics had in those playoffs, you can see it was more than the Nets. A lot of our baskets that we got was tough. Remember, we used waiting to set up an offense where KD set up and find his spot. They took that away from us. So we had to find different ways to score. This is where Seth Curry and he didn't even play Patty Mills like that. He didn't even, the players that you could go to because KD is being doubled, he did not go to. And that's a LaMarcus Aldridge. Even the Blake Griffin, the way he played Giannis, respectfully, you don't put him in the playoffs next season until the third, fourth game.
Yo,
A lot of questions for Nash. A lot of questions.
I remember watching that series and I was like, these games are close. If this nigga Patty get on the court and get hot, it might be a wrap. You feel me? Like,
play him.
But he didn't get no PT, and that was in my mind. Like, if they put Patty on the court and he get hot, it might get crazy. You feel me?
He gave Dragic a lot of the minutes from Patty. He gave him Patty minutes, and he gave him Cam Thomas minutes. Dragic took Patty minutes and Cam Thomas minutes. Was not happy about that. Everybody was like, "Yo, Dragic ain't no killer." I seen when it'll be the leader be like 65-65. I mean, the score be like even. And Dragic just fumble the ball, turn it over, give the momentum to the Celtics, laughing like what do you mean? Yeah. Like, this is the playoffs, man. You better get serious. Like, yo, this is why I was tight. Like, how you that's your friend. You gave Joe Tsai gave his friend Steve Nash a job. Steve Nash gave his friend Dragic a job as a point guard with the Brooklyn Nets. Like, stop it with all of this friendship shit, man.
And I told you this about Dragic when you got him. And you was big at Dragic up because that's what you do. You feel me? And I get you.
I'm saying. Hopefully, I'm optimistic. You know what I mean?
You was excited, and I was trying to tell you. I'm like, yo,
Nash don't listen. Yo, you should
Dragic
watch
ain't
these dogs.
Dragic ain't Dragic no more, bro. Like he
No,
ain't.
but that's the problem, bro. That Nash, you trying to give him Patty Mills? You think he could handle the weight of Patty Mills? The way Patty Mills was playing all season in the playoffs, he been Mr. Reliable. Patty Mills played 81 games for the Brooklyn Nets. Never played that many minutes in his life. He played all season with the Spurs. You let him take the obligation of Joey buckets all season. Then your friend comes into town. Hi, Dragic. Just take Patty minutes. He played all of these games. But what does it mean? It means nothing to you because Dragic is your friend?
So, man.
Nah, man. Nash, you got to do better, man. A lot of questions for Nash, man. A lot of questions for Nash.
Sorry the steer the conversation different. Got a like a little notification from Bleacher Report. You know what I mean?
Oh, where was good?
Because I told you that they aired the interview on MSG for Leon Rose, and
Okay.
and the headline pretty much said that the Knicks press was thrilled the way things transpired over the summer. So to me, not even really reading the whole article, just going off the headline, that kind of tell me he cool with how things happen with Donovan Mitchell. Like, all right, you feel me? Cool. I'm thrilled because I like these guys that we got on the team, and that's what I was saying earlier. That he was saying that he's happy with that him and the rest of the front office is happy with the roster and the players on the team. I mean, of course, if you got a chance to get a player like Donovan Mitchell, you got to exercise those options. But that doesn't speak to say if these guys if he's not that he's displeased with anybody on the team. And he also said you could see that in the way that we re-signed Mitchell Robinson and in the deal that we made with R.J. Barrett, that these guys are happy with him. You feel me?
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch this interview once I'm done here. Word.
Yeah.
And eat because I'm starving, bro.
Nah, I feel you. They got an interview with Ben Simmons. I seen more of the clips. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole interview. But what I
Me
did,
neither, but I saw him talk about that layup, that dunk
yeah,
opportunity.
yeah. Again, man, you got something to prove, man. But what I will say about Ben Simmons is this: you know, for damn sure, nobody don't want to hear nothing about you not dunking on Trey Young. Forget all that spinning on the jersey shit. I don't care nothing for that. You hear? Listen, clean all that up. This is a perfect opportunity for you to turn a new leaf and come here and be embraced by a new fan base. And I heard you talk heavy about how you got love in Philly, your brother live out there. Yeah. That's cool with me. But listen, all I'm asking you to do is know that when it comes to basketball, yes, you're a talent. And I heard Reddick ask you, are you going to take 3-pointers for the Brooklyn Nets? And you said you're going to take 20 a game. Obviously, you were joking. And to be honest with you, I do not want you to take 3 20 pointers. I mean, yeah, I'm sorry, 23 pointers a game. And again, to be honest with you, I don't want you to take any 3 pointers. I like that the fact that you stuck up for yourself and you said that I bring a lot to basketball. Everything is not about shooting, and you did get a lot of rhetoric about your shooting, but you feel like you bring a lot to basketball. And that's when JJ Redick brought up the assist stat about how he was the leader in assists for 3 pointers for like 3 seasons in a row. So yeah, you bring a lot, and we surrounded by shooters. I seen a stat where it show all of the percentage of the shooters that's on our team, and I think that we are in a good situation for Ben Simmons to do what he does without changing anything that he does. If he developed a 3 shot, of course, a 3 point shot, of course, but just from the interview, I think it broke the ice and he some of the awkwardness before the season started and he actually playing basketball. I feel like this was necessary for him. You know how social media is now with these athletes and these, you know what I mean? You see how they are. And for him to break the ice the way he did, speaking to a teammate, ex-teammate in JJ Redick, I think that was great for Ben Simmons and him playing basketball for the Brooklyn Nets. I'm glad he had the interview. Not a fan of all his answers. Shout out to Ben Simmons, but yeah, I feel like you got something to prove, and I want to see you
Yeah.
play basketball with us, man.
Who y'all play your first regular season game against?
That's a good question. I'll double check. I think it's the Pelicans, but I'm gonna double check for you.
If
I
I'm
see.
if I'm the coach of whoever it is, the Pelicans, whatever, right?
Mhm.
If I'm the coach, very first game, my ideology going to the game, hey, whenever Ben Simmons got the ball at the 3-point line, we dropping down towards the foul line. We gonna make. He talked about we gonna see how well his mental state is, and we gonna make him shoot threes under pressure of a regular season game. The first one. The first one. First play
That's
he get the ball. I'm backing all the way up. Like, yo,
right, but
shoot
respectfully,
that
that's
shit.
yeah, no, that's a coaching strategy, and I respect it. And I expect to see a lot of it. So the best thing we could do is move Ben Simmons from a point guard situation to a power forward situation. So you just going to the block first. You ain't even got to bring the ball up, bro. You ain't got to do that with a Kyrie Irving on the team, realistically, bro. Kyrie Irving, you're not going to steal the ball from a Kyrie Irving. So let him bring the ball up. Why put Ben Simmons in a situation where it doesn't behoove him? This is what I'm saying. Don't even play into what other teams are saying you should and shouldn't do. Don't play into their defense. And this is why, again, a lot of the fans were mad at Nash in that Boston series. You're feeding out of this Ime's hand. You're like doing everything he wants you to do. There's no adjustments. He made the adjustment playing chess here now. He made the adjustment to do what he did with KD. Okay, what are you going to do? You didn't make no adjustment. Now it's up to you. It's your play. You have to make an adjustment after the coach makes an adjustment on you. So everything isn't about the player, but again, the system. And I'll say this to land the plane. Everybody says, oh, it's the system about Golden State, and it is. But let's not pretend that Andrew Wiggins isn't a first round pick. They didn't just pick any Joe Schmo. He's a good player. I'm not saying he's Kevin Durant level. So shout to the system of the Golden State Warriors. But at the same time, yeah, he was a number one pick, bro. So yeah, I could see how they made that work. So shout out to Kevin Durant, but you were a number two pick. So I see how they made that work. You feel what I mean? But that being said, yeah, man, we got good pieces around Kevin Durant, and we'll be all right, man. Shout out to the Knicks, but I
Yeah,
think we beat y'all that first game.
I don't know. I disagree, but
Ben Simmons never lost to the Knicks in his history as a player.
okay, the Knicks hasn't been as good since he's been in the league. There's also that. You know what I mean? So, I think Ben Simmons at the four on a consistent basis is a bad look, especially against the bigger fours in the NBA. That got like offensively, he's gonna be a problem because he's too quick for them. But defensively, I don't think he's strong enough. You know what I mean?
I think him and Nick Claxton working together makes us a strong force in the paint. They have to work together. It can't be an individual effort. But we're a bigger team with a Ben Simmons at the 4, Nick Claxton at 5, him at 4, KD at 3. We play KD at the 4 and the 5. And in my opinion, it went bad for KD at the 5. It's just like too much. You know what I mean? So put Nick Claxton at the 5, Ben Simmons at the 4 and KD at the 3. That dynamic of switching the roles because of the position, yeah, it's definitely gonna behoove the Brooklyn Nets next season, man. And again, I know we not the favorites, but that's fine.
So that means you're gonna play Joe Harris at the 2?
Yeah, I would say Joe Harris at the 2 because he's 6'6", and that makes us a big team. And the reason we went out and got all of these wings is because we were small to the Celtics and to the Toronto Raptors.
Your backcourt is going to be trash defensively.
Defensively, with Kyrie and
Kyrie is not I wouldn't say Kyrie's not a horrible defender. He's not good.
Yeah, remember that strip with Randall and we won the game?
I mean, sun shines on the dog ass every once. Nah, Kyrie do have quick hands though.
Yeah,
that's the one. He does have quick hands, but I'm talking about consistently staying in front of his guy. It's not he's not good at that. He don't get over screens well. Yeah, I mean that's why he rely on reaching for the ball a lot because
I entertain that. Maybe they don't start Joe Harris because of that and put a Royce O'Neal there. But then there's too much defense. You know what I'm saying? Because Nick Claxton is pretty much known for his defense, and Ben Simmons as well. they're not really known for offense, but I guess you know what I mean. Especially Ben Simmons and then Nick Claxton, they're not known
So,
for offense. The
so th-
offense is going to come from the KD, Joe Harris, and Kyrie Irving. So Joe Harris will be there knowing he's not the best defensive guy on the floor, you know. But
yeah.
maybe we go with a Royce O'Neal at
But
first.
that's why I say
I
like
don't know.
if this is just talking, you know, like yeah, to me your best lineup is Clax at start lineup. Clax at 5, KD 4, Joe Harris at the 3, Ben
That's my guy.
Simmons. I mean Kyrie at the 2, Ben Simmons at the 1. Uh, to me, that is because that gives you perimeter defense, and you still got all the scoring that you need. You know what I mean? And you can find a way to hide Kyrie and Joe Harris on the worst, perimeter player. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
you still got all your defense, and you still got
Thank you, Barry.
I, I, I mean, not necessarily, bro. I don't
Yeah,
I don't I don't agree. I think KD can play the 4 really well. You know what I
he
mean?
can.
He can
It's a
play the
lot
4 really
on him,
well.
especially at 34. You know,
Yeah,
just us listening to y'all too. Like at 34, for him to play
uh,
the 4 on defense, nah.
he, bro,
But
he's
at
he,
offense, yeah, we got to do
bro,
switches.
he's 7 feet tall, bro.
Yeah,
He could play the 4, and I've seen him do it and play the 4 very well. You know what I mean? Just his height alone, he may not be the strongest person. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Shout out to JJ on the
I
check-in.
mean, he shoots over threes better, but he's too quick for most 4s still at 34. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
he's going to get past most 4s easy. And talking about trying to have a 4 trying to guard KD on a perimeter, that's torture, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's torture. He gonna give that work. He gonna make somebody knees slam together with a crossover. You feel me? Like
I
so.
wanna do. Yeah, go ahead.
No,
I
no,
want to
I'm
do.
I'm done because I'm ready to go. I'm hungry, bro. Like,
All right. So I'll do this, and then we can wrap things up. That's fine. We got over an hour in. Shout to everybody on the check in. Shout to everybody that pulled up, like, share, subscribe. Shout out to Jaffe for calling up. But before we go, just wanted to ask you, MIP for the city though. Who is going to be the most improved player for the Brooklyn Nets? Hopefully, for me, it's a Cam Thomas. I'm looking forward to see him play and get double digits going into next season. I really want to see him improve going into his sophomore year, and a Dayron Sharp as well. I think he averages a double double going into next season. I think Kessler becomes more of an efficient shooter, and I know he's going to get minutes because of his stellar defense. But to be specific and just say one, Cam Thomas. I want to see him step up, play better defense, and get more minutes to have more opportunities to play better basketball. I don't want to see his minutes get took by Ed Sumner in the new acquisitions that came to the team. I feel like out of 67 out of 82 games last season for a rookie is impressive, and I want to see more of the same. Just give him more minutes. He averaged 17 minutes last season. This season, I want to see him average 25 plus minutes. Um, for the sake of the veterans and making sure they're fresh. So yeah, I just wanted to say that, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, thank y'all for tuning in, man. Appreciate y'all.
word. I can't even say who gonna be the most improved because I'm expecting big things from a lot of our young guys. You know what I mean? It could be Manu quickly because he's getting a larger role. It could be Obi because he's expected to get a larger role. It could be Cam Reddish because he got a lot to prove. This is year 4 for him as well. And
Mm-hmm.
it's been riddled with injury, not getting a lot of playing time. He
Mm-hmm.
get PT, he got something to prove. And the crazy thing about Cam Reddish is like he has everything that physically and skill set wise, he has everything that you want for an NBA player.
Mm-hmm.
He's 6'8", really long arms, can dribble the ball, can shoot a little bit, can finish with both hands. Like it's just he's never been able to stay on the court. So again, I say all that to say he's a guy that I'm expecting to have an amazing improvement. Same thing, I'm expecting RJ Barrett to take that leap this year. Yeah, I mean, finally having the point guard that he needs on the team. Like RJ Barrett is one like RJ Barrett since he's been in the NBA with the Knicks hasn't like RJ Barrett needs a point guard, bro. Like he's one of those players that like I need a point guard. Like I'm not the guy that's gonna go out and just do it myself. At
Right.
least not yet. You feel me?
Mhm.
Not saying that he can't become that guy, but at least not yet. Like now he actually has that, and he's been doing well without that. You feel me?
Mhm.
So now that he has it, I'm expecting him to take another leap this year. Is this? I just can't say who's going the one guy that I think is going to have the most improved. But
No, no.
if I had to take a guess, I'm going to say Emmanuel quickly because
Okay.
of his increased role that they saying that he's going to have. You know what I mean?
All right. That's what's up.
Yeah, I think quickly going to have one of those Tyrese Maxey year. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
that's what we
Yeah,
look.
nah, I seen that jump from 1 year to two for Maxi. I seen that.
Yeah, yeah.
Cam Thomas was I'll leave off saying this. Cam Thomas was an honorable mention for players under a certain age. I think it was like players under 20 or players under 23 or something like that. And he didn't. He was an honorable mention. So, you know,
Yeah.
we look to see how well he'll play as well. It's not just me. He's on the radar for having a great season next year.
Word. All right, y'all. Much love. I gotta go eat, bro. I'm starving. Like
Yeah. We hungry too, man. I'm hungry. The Brooklyn Nets hungry for that championship. Know what I'm saying we all hungry out here, man. Shout out to all the Brooklyn Nets fans that pulled up. Y'all gonna see how hungry we are this season.
I can't wait for the season start. It was so close, man. I miss NBA basketball for
Yeah,
real.
man. I'm waiting, man. I'm anticipating.
Yeah. All right, y'all. See y'all next Friday. You heard.